We got absolutely bull rushed by FAU. They beat us every which way you could. They're a good team, and I thought they were extremely talented coming in. I thought they should have been better record than they had coming in because they're so talented, and they showed that tonight against us, that's for sure. Any questions?
Coach, just wanted to start off with run game. Obviously, it's hard when you get down early, but some of the run game woes, just go with that a little bit.
Well, we made a few good runs there as we got going. We're just not hitting on any cylinders on offense or defense right now. Last 2 weeks have been deplorable. So we've got to keep working. We're doing everything we can to try. We put in a couple new runs. That, matter of fact, one of them sprung for a touchdown, and we had some other things. And then, we're started out real sluggish for sure, to say the least. So yeah, we'll keep working on it, and trying to find a way to run it better if we can.
I want to follow up on that because you're right. You look at the numbers. You had a couple chunk plays there that did enhance the run game. But when you take those out, trying to get early down success, so you're not in those third and longs.
Yeah, we're just not very good. We're just not very good. And we're just not very good, and they played better than us, and so did North Texas. We as coaches got to do a better job and keep working on it to try to get it better. We're trying to find our way through it, and we're not doing a very good job of it right now.
Last follow-up on that, Coach. I guess what I'm asking is, how much of an impact does that play in terms of getting offensive success when, you're going early down, you're not having success, you're in third and seventh, third and eighth.
Yeah, anytime you're in a lot of third and longs, you're correct. You're not going to be successful offensively. We need to find ways, and it's not always running, short passing game, different things. We just haven't been able to do it as well as we were there for a minute. So when we're trying to look at, what teams are doing to us too, and us changing some things too, we need to do that and make a few tweaks here and there and go back to the drawing board and try to play better next week.
Coach, big picture, FIU's lost 6 in a row to FAU. You've only been here, obviously, for the one. But what are your thoughts on whether that wears on some of the guys that have been here for more than a year, and just what's it going to take to beat that school?
Playing a whole lot better. I guess we don't play them next year. We'll play them in another year after that. Yeah, they completely destroyed us, and they did a good job against us, coaching-wise and playing-wise. And we just got to keep getting better and keep working on it and trying to bounce back.
We've seen you after some defeats, and you're still pretty positive sounding, but this one seems like it's hit you pretty hard. What's your
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I thought that was embarrassing to our program, to our team, and I've got to do a better job with them to try to make that better. And going with them, we'll get back Monday and build them back up and work with them and keep fighting and keep growing and keep working from there because that was wasn't good at all. So we just got to keep trying to push through it.
Coach, I know obviously it's fresh. You can't recall everything. The game just ended. But last week you said to me that as the most frustrating and worst in your house. You get this week. Any similarities that you can think of in the 2 months?
No, we practice hard. We practice good, and sometimes coaches say that. I mean, we had energy at practice. We were working on things and working at it and communicating, and the walkthroughs were good, and it was good concentration, and guys were here working and doing well, and so I was very surprised that we started out so poorly in the first quarter, and just and then we kind of bounced back for a minute, and then we had the mishap there on the fumble, and we might have made it 31-14 or something, in there at that time because we were moving the ball, and so that was tough, and then we held them on the punt thing, and then we jumped off sides on a field goal. And then that let them score, and those were, to me, back-to-back really frustrating situations for us that we could have handled. I thought we could have handled it better, but we didn't handle it as good as we needed to.
One more follow-up. You talked about the offsides and some of the miscues. You haven't been a really heavily penalized team. Unfortunately, tonight you have 9 penalties for something we are just talk about.
Yeah, we had a couple face masks trying to tackle number 1. We couldn't tackle him, and a couple of those they weren't on purpose. They hit his face mask twice. That's about all they could touch on him. And is he quick as lightning. And so that was 2 of them. The one jumped off sides, which was really a big one because it ended up adding 4 points to us. Our kids are playing, disciplined football. They put us in some situations where I think pass rushing we might have held, and a couple of those face masks. We're trying to tackle them, and we also had a horse collar on the same kid. He got by us and we grabbed him and they caught it. So those 3 of those penalties were trying to tackle him. They weren't like undisciplined type things. They're just trying to grab him. So I didn't think we were undisciplined. I thought that we were just trying and got to get better at our tackling or that type of thing.
Coach Grayson, I think he started 0 for 8. What did you think of his performance? And did you think at all about putting Aiden in earlier to get him more reps?
It was just we just weren't very good on offense and weren't very good on defense. It just was one of those things. But Grayson kept competing, and then Hayden went in and did some things, and then he had some negative plays too. It was just kind of one of those nights. It wasn't very pretty. So.
What's the mood of the guys? I see your mood. What are they?
I'm pretty sure they're really down, and we'll get back to work Monday, and we'll come in here as a staff tomorrow, of course, but the team has off on Sundays, kind of recuperate and go. Players are really resilient, so we will push them and show them what they have and love them, and then move on and try to find a way to go beat UTEP.
Coach, you talked about going to beat UTEP, and you have a young group of guys. Do you think that nights like tonight, it's obviously very emotional. Do you think that's something you can use to maybe push them for the remaining of the season to kind of end on a high note?
Yeah, they have to push it from within themselves. We're definitely will give them information, help them, show them what we're doing, try to keep them motivated. In a lot of different ways we do that and help them. But they've got to, take it, look introspectively like a coach does too. How can we fix things? How can we move? What can we do better? And so that definitely should add fuel to the fire. You should think you don't have all the answers right now. You got to find answers. And when you're trying to look for answers, you usually dig harder and usually push yourself to get yourself better.
Coach, one of the few bright spots for FIU's offense today was Lexington Joseph, who scored 87 yards. Can you just talk about how important his presence once was to the FIU offense, especially with the troubles the Panthers have had?
Yeah, Flex, I really love Flex. He's a team captain. He is tough. He's a hard runner. He's a competitor. He keeps fighting no matter what. And he's a really good runner. He really is. And I was impressed with some of the runs he made tonight. And some of the runs he made 4 or 5 guys miss just to gain like 5 or 6 yards. If we can get him one-on-one on a backer more often, or on a secondary guy, instead of 87 yards of 157 or something like that, because he has that ability to do that. Flex is definitely a bright spot on our team and definitely a leader on our football team.
Coach, now 10 games into the year, youth, is that still, I don't want to use the word excuse, but, are they essentially veterans at this point? It's been almost a full year, or is it still like they're still growing?
I think they're still young and growing in a lot of ways, in the fact that, yes, they've got more play, so they're getting more experience on the field, but the grind of the everyday, the pushing, the opportunities of games start meaning a little bit more. Can we fight through that? Can we do that? And that's a process, and we need to bounce back. We had a setback. We need to bounce back this week, and I think how we come and push through that for the next one will be extremely important. But I think it does wear on them a little bit mentally and physically, because all the young guys, now they've played 10 games. Well, they've never played 10 games before in their lives, their bodies, their mind. So you have to, and once you kind of go through that as a player, you need to take care of which we have all the things to take care of their body better, mentally get themselves ready, keep pushing. But I've got to do a better job of finding ways to, I guess, regenerate us, do different things like that with us this week, and try to find a way to do some things that hopefully we feel like we can do.
Last one for me, any factor at all, the rush pregame, does that put with a young team, does that play a factor at all?
No, I don't. Well, I mean, it could, but I don't think so. I mean, we went out and warmed up. to be honest with you, I wish you could just go warm up for 20 minutes and then go on the sidelines and kick the ball off. We get here so early and do different things now. You know, it might have bothered them a little bit, but really, you know, FAU they played better than us, and we've got to coach better and play better. All right, thank you guys.